Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
So hungry I could eat a horse.
Oh.
Is that a pun?
No.
Because I didn't really mean a horse. Or that's just a metaphor.
That's,
No.
yeah. That's,
How do you define a pun?
it's like a play on
It's like a
words.
play on words.
Yeah. I mean, I had words and I played with them.
Mm.
I really feel like this month's theme, which is just punny movie titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But I mean, it's really like a celebration of you.
Yeah.
Do I do puns a lot?
You love puns.
Bitch, get out of here. Get out of my house, sir. You do it all
Okay,
the time.
bye.
We just call you Andy Pun
Andy Pun.
instead of Andy Hung.
How do you define a pun, Andy?
I mean, I know when I hear it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's
Can't define
pornography.
it,
Just
yeah.
like pornography.
Do we know the official definition of a pun?
Oh my God, Webster's dictionary defines
Are
the
you-
word pun as.
Are you giving a best man speech right now?
Pun. When I met Andy, boy, was he throwing dick around town. But then he met Felicia. A joke exploiting the different possible meanings of a word or the fact that there are words which sound alike but have different meanings. The pigs were a squeal, if you forgive the pun.
I don't get that.
That's not a great
I don't get that
pun.
one. The pigs were a squeal?
Because pigs squeal.
But what's the word that they're punning on?
The word squeal
Squeal.
is the pun on that one, I think.
Okay, let's just agree that the dictionary is not a place you go to for jokes.
They
It's
don't-
mid 17th century, perhaps an abbreviation of obsolete pundigrian. I see why they shortened it as a fanciful alliteration of punctilio.
Oh.
Well, that was the first pun. What were people like when they heard the first pun? Like, oh,
Yeah, he caught it. He was like,
They fell down in the middle of the hay-covered road and rolled around in all kinds of animal feces while they laughed and laughed.
and the world would change forever.
So every title in this theme it has a pun in it, and this week is Slotherhouse.
Slotherhouse.
Because the sloth is
The movie that
killing people.
was like, fuck you, we're going to make the joke about our title in the movie.
You know what I appreciate about that is it works on two levels with this title.
I don't agree with you on this in the least, but go on.
That it's a sorority house and it's a slaughterhouse and there's a sloth in it. So when you say Slotherhouse, it could just be a movie about a sloth rushing a sorority, which it kind of is.
It is not.
But you add the killing in, and then you get a whole nother thing with Slotherhouse.
So you're giving this movie a lot more credit than it deserves.
I'm sure I am, and I will.
It's just simply Slotherhouse. That's it.
I think there's a whole nother Greek life element.
man.
It's a Goosebumps episode.
Goosebumps.
A little more tongue in cheek than that. It feels like
You think?
like a riff on Gremlins and Weird Science, kind of too.
Well, I
get
I
there.
feel like in the puppetry it does, but
Yeah.
I mean a lot of things are. This to
Yeah.
me. Well, anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. It was a roller coaster of emotion for me. I hated it at first, hated it,
Yeah,
but I gave myself over to it, like someone gives themselves over to their victimizer.
I didn't hate
Maybe
it,
I don't know.
but I don't hate. You know,
You trauma bonded with it?
I did. I ended up. You'll see. Patrons, thanks for supporting our show. We cannot do this without you. We get very, very, very tiny bits of money from those ads you hear on here. In case anybody's ever curious about that, it's like enough to pay for maybe a pizza a quarter. So you guys are the ones who really are making this possible.
Well, if you use a coupon, then
Oh, yeah. Maybe you can
Then
get
you're
a
set.
couple of
Yeah.
pizzas.
You've
Maybe you can get a side
loyalty
salad.
dollars.
Yeah.
starting. I'm starting new designs for merch for next year. So
Oh, I'm excited. The
There you go.
T-shirts are out.
patrons.
Yeah, the patrons
So-
got that awesome TU design.
It's patreon.com
Thank you.
/NOTLP. All the information's there. And then
Yeah.
our extra stuff that we put up there in addition to the merch you get.
Yep. Origins, which is our old episodes with new commentary. We just posted the Fistful of Dollars. For a few dollars more, which was staff's picks. It was Kelley's pick.
You.
2012, our first
Yeah.
staff pick month.
Podcaster's choice. It's kind of like how Twitter is X now. I'm still going to refer to as
still
Twitter.
call it.
The original
Yeah.
branding, I understand.
You're the Elon Musk of podcasting.
Ooh, don't tell
How
me
dare
that.
you?
That just made me nauseous. I saw the most hilarious thing, and Patton Oswalt retweeted or rethreaded, sorry, about it was like a fake thread story about the lawsuit, the theoretical, fantasy lawsuit of a family suing the manufacturers of the Tesla truck. And it's just like excerpts, supposed to be excerpts from like the legal documents, how they Tesla kind of warps it into like they convince the court to come on their side. It's like a parody. It's really funny. But if you follow Patton Oswalt, he reshared that. I can't remember the original poster's name.
That's great. You just told us there was a funny thing you read.
Patton
And told
Oswalt.
us everything that wasn't funny about it.
I don't want to tell you the funny parts because you gotta read it. But the funny stuff, like it says,
Oh my God! That
they
doesn't mean
argued.
keep talking about
hold up. They argued about the definition of the word jelly, as in how the people what they were reduced to. Like they're like, you
Jellies.
can't use the word jelly to describe. The court won't recognize that they were reduced to jelly.
No, you have to call it all fruit.
Yeah, all fruit, human jelly. We were just talking about human jam.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Bill Clinton was like, it depends on what your definition of is.
They is a jelly.
Oh,
so
Topicana. I got questions for
Topicana
you
is our
guys.
other show on
Yeah.
Patreon where we ask each other questions. Freddy's gonna tease his squeeze.
Yeah. Well, I might have deleted that.
He will
thread.
not be deleting.
But you have it, right? You guys still have the text I sent
this
you.
show.
Yeah, it's in your text.
Well, I was cleaning up my messages. Long story short, and
Oh my God.
Oh.
and that particular thread has disappeared now. My phone was being a bitch.
Here you go.
Just a real turd.
I wondered what was going on because you were sort of responding to different things in different threads today, and I was curious.
I didn't get
It's a
any
mess.
text at all.
Yeah, it just went haywire, man.
Are you texting people behind my back?
No.
No, what? You were on there?
No.
Yeah, you got my paranoia up now.
Sometimes Freddy's phone just loses its little mind.
I stole 3 questions from Reddit, which is what I almost always do.
Don't tell him you stole them.
These are what you're going to be dealing with on Topicana this week. What's something you wish you knew about sex before you had it? That one at the comfort level, obviously. I'm not going to force anybody to disclose a lot of details. 2 was what?
Thank goodness.
What are cool yet not cringy Wi-Fi names? People put like FBI
Oh,
You're
surveillance.
asking a
man.
lot of us.
That's too much,
That's your
honey.
creative round. And then the third question, we'll see where we get with these when the time comes, is what is the silliest statement that you ever heard someone make? But
Just that person who
Probably
ordered
be an
pizza
hour.
with no cheese.
Oh, at the
And was it no cheese and no sauce?
yeah, it was at the deep dish pizza place we went to.
Yeah, we were in Chicago.
It's pretty funny.
it was
That
weird
doesn't
over
make
here.
sense.
So you want bread with vegetables?
Can I get bread and vegetables, please? Oh, even that sounds good right now.
All right, Freddy Morris. All right, so
I
that's
had
our
a granola
Patreon.
bar before the show. I'm always hungry when we do this.
Do you guys want to talk about Godzilla?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That movie is so good, listeners. Do yourselves a favor. If you want to see the best Godzilla movie, I think that there is. I mean, I love all the Monarch Godzilla movies. But those are like cartoons. Those are kid stuff. That's like, this is a fucking movie, man. Godzilla -1. It's straight out of Toho. Really good drama. Really good World War II, post World War II drama. Plus Godzilla, the effects, it's huge. The movie is huge. Godzilla looks so real. I don't want to take all the words.
Yeah, well, like
No,
for
I think you're.
other Godzilla movies, you keep waiting for Godzilla to come back on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But there's a good movie around the Godzilla stuff in this too.
exactly. That's for maybe the first time, maybe ever since maybe the original, which I haven't seen in a million billion years. But yeah, you actually gave a shit about the people. You could actually be drawn into that story, and then you're like, oh shit, there's Godzilla too. Oh man.
And there's even a little nod with the train. I felt like
there is. There's a whole
models.
There's a shit ton of callbacks.
Yeah.
it's still a classic Godzilla movie. Every single trope shows up, but like it's handled really well and
They look
grounded.
handmade in
The-
parts.
The
Like-
music
It
is
looked like Harryhausen at sometimes.
Like, but still
Like,
looked real
yeah.
somehow.
yeah. This is really good.
Yeah, I never expected a Godzilla movie would make me cry.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm very easy to.
Oh no, we all teared up, man, and it was scary. Godzilla was scary again.
Great veteran story. Like if you know anyone who's a combat veteran, I think that the hero in this is like a very believable.
Oh man,
character. He's great.
A couple of great twists.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Go see this shit. Give it money. I want more Godzilla movies like this. Listen, I love the American ones. Good for you guys, but like I want more of this.
Yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. I love the era.
Shin Godzilla real good too, but not as good as this.
Having it set in the 40s in Tokyo, it's like it's
perfect.
It's a whole nother layer of like enjoyment that you get out of it because it's historically maybe not 100% accurate, but it's pretty well crafted. I don't know that a giant lizard attacked, and I'm not sure about that.
It sets up the 1954 movie for the big Tokyo attack. It's really great.
Yeah,
it's a great
I gotta watch
prequel.
That again. Do you watch the Raymond Burr one or the old edit?
I have seen both, but the Raymond Burr one is the one I'm the most familiar with because it's the one they played on Channel 19 all the time.
Yeah.
The last one I saw was the non-Raymond Burr one. And then Godzilla 1985, which, by the way, is nearly impossible to get a hold of, was kind of like this. It was an attempt to go back and make Godzilla scary again. It was a direct sequel to the 1954 movie. And then we did the exact same thing. The American version was heavily edited, and they put Raymond Burr into it.
Yeah.
And made a movie about him.
I like the
but it was scary as shit to young me.
I loved 85.
85 is fucking beautiful.
And I loved Kong Lives.
There's a Godzilla
I have
85.
to revisit Kong Live. Yeah, Kong Lives.
That.
Yeah, man. It was
And Kong Lives is really good.
No, I suspect there's 1,000 movies out there we need to see that are in this universe.
Is that the one with Jessica Lange?
Yeah.
No, that's King Kong.
Oh wait. Wasn't Jessica Lange in Kong Lives?
No.
Who was the lady in that?
Linda Hamilton.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I bleed those two movies together. I might be remembering the Jessica Lange King Kong when I'm thinking
Well,
of
I
Kong
believe
Lives.
Kong Lives is supposed to be a direct sequel to the
that
Jessica
one.
Lange King Kong.
I gotcha.
Has anybody caught any of the TV show? The new Apple Plus show?
Not yet. Been waiting to watch
Neither.
it
There's a
with
Godzilla
my
show?
son. Yeah, Monarch.
Kurt Russell.
Legacy of Monsters.
Mm-hmm. John Goodman's
Oh,
back.
is it out already?
Yeah. I don't know how many episodes are out yet, but
Yeah.
Apple.
Is it getting good buzz?
I truly have not heard anything about it.
But it looks cool, man. Godzilla's in it. And I do want to watch it. I'm super psyched for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm really curious how they tell a serialized story set in that world. Because I'm hoping it would be like a lot of the little weird monsters and stuff that you don't really get to see in the other Monarch
Kind of how
movies.
the MCU on TV started exploring
Well, not like that.
lesser known.
I think it's a
superheroes?
different thing. It's just a way to, for me, the Godzilla movies are a showcase for effects artists.
Yeah, I agree. This would be a great way to explore a lot of the other kaiju that show up so that you can, because they're hinted at. Almost all of them, in one way or another, are sort of hinted at in King of the Monsters. So I do hope that happens.
Yeah.
We'll see. Been waiting to watch it with Colin, so
I'm excited to hear what the rewatch is like, if it holds up.
The rewatch of what?
Didn't you say you were going to watch it with Colin?
He's talking about the TV show we were just
The
talking
TV
about.
show.
The Monarch show.
Why am I thinking that?
Good Lord, Freddy Morris.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Well,
I thought you went, for a minute, I thought you went back to the new Godzilla.
No, and
Sorry.
I timed out because I didn't know what you were talking about.
My system went offline. I think I rebooted between when you finished talking about Monarch and I thought you started talking about Godzilla -1 again.
Yeah.
But you were still talking about Monarch. You're going to watch that with Colin.
Yeah.
If Freddy ever gets dementia, I don't think we'll ever notice.
We
You
will
probably
not.
won't. Yeah. To be fair.
Honestly, there's no way you would be able to tell.
Yeah, I feel like the transition, God forbid you get it, but
Yeah.
the transition
it'll
from
be
like
smooth.
Freddy to like dementia Freddy, we like.
Yeah.
I guess I've already developed coping skills
Yeah.
to deal with
Yeah.
him in this state.
It would be fun if your dementia symptoms were like you were more cognizant and.
Oh, if it went in reverse
Yeah.
for me?
You were
Yeah.
more lucid.
Yeah.
That'd be
in
cool.
present?
I mean, it might also fuck some shit up. Like I have a very balanced chemistry going on in this brain. It's always teetering.
It's definitely balanced.
Balanced on an angel dancing on a pen.
So one thing goes wrong, it's going to throw everything else off.
Everything's gonna get out of whack.
Why are you
Anything
pointing
else?
at me?
I was gonna say, should I say we'll be right back right after this?
I don't know. Is there anything else before we do that?
We got to listen to an advance preview of Freddy Morris's upcoming album.
Thank you, Kelley. Yeah, I finished recording the album, writing, recording. It still needs to be mastered, but they podcasters.
We had a listening
came over.
party.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It was really great. Andy took some awesome photographs.
Indeed, those are great.
Drew a little
They were so cool, little doodles.
doodle for me, which I love. I
About
actually
your musics.
and Amy gave me great feedback that I can really use on hers. So I have like everything I want from the experience. It was a really special experience for me to listen to it with you guys.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
indeed.
And I'm very excited to have Scarecrow Oven doing the art for the packaging, and I've been sending him bits and bobs like the photos Andy took, any drawings I do myself and stuff. You know, just like these are what we're vibing on, man.
That's what we're vibing on, bro.
Vibin'.
And hopefully that will, turn out something really special.
It's exciting, baby.
I like the idea of taking something I created and putting it through someone's eyes who isn't in my everyday life, and then kind of seeing what comes out of it. Because otherwise, I would ask Kelley to have done my art. But
I'm glad you got.
I like the idea of their my relationship with Dave is different. So there's like this thing where we interact almost exclusively through like art. So I'm really curious.
And,
Art
and sexual text messages.
and
that's
just dudes with giant. Oh, I should show you this one because I got included in one group chat with Dave Scarecrow Oven, and I got a little taste of the dudes with giant dicks.
Yeah.
That just will pop up on your phone screen, and it's not
affirmational.
It's not. This is not for arousing. No, it's for making you laugh your ass off. Oh, I can't wait to show you this guy.
She thinks it's.
Is it literally just a giant dick?
Yeah.
It is sometimes scrolling in Reddit, and I don't get as many as I used to on the old app, but sometimes it is really funny when there's like a dude who's posted a dick pic of himself, and it's so ridiculously gigantic, and you're just like, what even is that, man? How do you do anything?
It's like this is an '80s dick.
How do you exist?
That's an old dick. That's a retro dick.
That's a retro dick.
I don't. Okay, I don't want to be like, oh, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but do you girls send pictures up to each other of like giant vaginas?
No, it would
Or
be
like-
tits.
Or like poop?
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. I would rather do things like that with my gal pals.
We were talking
And,
about
like-
art. Remember that?
Well, yeah, but
That's art in a way.
here's
It
the
is.
thing.
It's part of the
I know
process.
about your group texts with Cretton and
Yeah.
Dave and,
Amy wants to
Dustin.
expose you to the world.
Yeah.
and I called his little homoerotic good time pals.
No, it's a
but they
very
crack each
dude
other
thing.
up.
Yeah.
It is a very dude thing. I know you guys are obsessed with your penises.
Hogs.
So.
I like the word hog. I don't know why. I just love animals.
Yeah.
I'm not shaming you. I think it's great.
Oh, I don't feel
I felt
ashamed.
honored to get one.
I wouldn't feel ashamed if someone did deliberately shame me. In fact, I'd probably double down and I would be like, here's my dick. I'm proud of it.
Don't do that.
I'm not going to do that. Stop asking. You ready to move on?
We will be right back after these messages.
Boom.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
Oh yeah. So I watched The Conference.
Oh yeah.
It has a different title in Swedish. This is a Swedish movie. It was English dubbed. I don't know if there is a non-English dub. That was just the first flavor that popped up. I didn't change any settings, so I didn't have to read subtitles or anything like that. It just was English.
Okay.
And it made sense in English. It was a pretty good
Yeah.
job of being dubbed in English.
Because you've looked at the original Swedish and double checked it.
No,
Oh,
Because it
I
makes
just
sense.
It made sense
because it made sense to you.
and like the voice acting matched
Oh yeah, that's always a
the face acting.
That's a make or break. Yeah.
And
good face acting.
oh my goodness, you got to be a good face actor if you really want to shine. So
that's going to come up, the main attraction.
This was a really okay movie.
All right.
It was like really okay.
You sound like you're assessing damages after like in a car accident.
And
yeah, that's going to have to go through insurance.
it is I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
There are some really enjoyable parts and some endearing characters. It is a slasher movie. Pretty like it's a comedy. It's a horror comedy that is all slasher.
Okay.
And it's also a workplace thing where you have this group of people who are the top team or the team that has set up this deal for this shopping center to be set up in this sleepy little Farmington town called, and it's funny, it was cracking me because it's called Kohlringen, and it sounded like Coleraine over and over again.
That's where we live.
And it was pretty funny.
That's our little town outside of Cincinnati.
It's like when the map says Coleraine.
Yeah.
Coleraine.
That's exactly what it sounded like. And and apparently, the people who live there were not happy about this deal happening. And there were various and sundry sort of little interpersonal dramas. Not all of it was, it was, you could infer everything. So I can't, like, the story wasn't bad or wasn't poorly written. It was tightly written. It was good. But there were things where you did kind of just have to sort of infer or like not worry about, like, well, why is she like that? Was there, something happened, but like,
was there like, what do you mean, like a specific character?
Well, there's a character who like, and maybe it is explained and I just didn't catch on to it, but like there's sort of a character who's our audience surrogate.
Oh, okay.
But she's clearly disturbed by things that the company has done, and feels like, she's the heart, I guess, because they end up causing, there's a farmer whose farm, because they bought the land, they demolished the farm. He ends up like committing suicide.
So she works for the evil corporation, but she's conflicted.
Well, and I wouldn't say she's super conflicted other than the fact that she works for them. That's the most conflicting part. But anyway, so they are now coming to this little resort in the town. The place hasn't been built yet, but they're coming to the place in this little resort in the town to have a just sort of a away weekend for the team. Like, woo, we're going to blow off steam. There were a weird amount of poop jokes, which I feel like
I love that.
they pop up in Scandinavian horror comedies a lot. Like they got
Scandinavian.
They got a real.
That's a pun.
Yeah, it is. See,
yeah, there you go.
Hey.
That was a pun.
Synergy, which is a callback.
I'm okay with that. If the Scandinavians think poop is funny, then we can be friends.
No, I'm just saying
It's funny though.
I've noticed it.
Don't they also have the cartoon with the guy with the giant dick? You know what I'm talking about? It's for children. But it's a guy with a giant dick. He uses it like garden and stuff.
That might be Spain.
I can't tell if you're serious.
No, I'm serious.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. Art.
So, anyway, so there's like all these little interpersonal mysteries, and there is like a good amount of what's going on. It's very tense. It gets very intense. Like I said, the acting is pretty good. There's a guy who's like a second villain.
Oh, yeah, I love it when they layer it like that.
And he's got crazy eyes. Yeah. You'll know him right away.
It's like a cheesy gordita crunch, but in a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not spoiling it. I mean, I guess you might be like, oh, well, what if he was an unexpected hero? And I'm not going to tell you that he isn't.
You just did.
I didn't.
But he didn't. So
I'm not going to tell you. It's not going to. You don't know if he is or isn't.
Is this like one of those movies that skews like corporate culture?
Well, only a little bit. Like there's a little bit of that, but mostly it's about these people and this thing. And anyway, so then it becomes a slasher.
These people and this thing.
It becomes a slasher, and
I would love you to be like in charge of the pitch meeting for this movie to the studio that made it. You'd be like, man, let me first. This woman.
She a beautiful woman. Anyway, so
I think Kelley could do a good pitch if he wanted to.
I think you could.
I'm trying to be delicate so I don't spoil things, but the slasher, it's one of these things. They're clearly doing a happy day. It's that trend now where everybody has a big happy face head.
Oh yeah,
because of Happy Death Day.
Yeah, I feel like it's a clear.
Oh, like a wacky killer. Like they did that on Thanksgiving too.
Like juxtaposition. It worked in Thanksgiving for me though.
This is it's creepy, and this is a comedy-ish. But it is very clear. Like it's like the town. It's the little town's mascot. He's got a goofy name too. I can't think of what it is.
Oh, I got another pun movie we can make. It's called The Town That Breaded Sundown. And it's just a town full of fat people with a fat person serial killer in it.
Yeah.
I like bread too.
A great big fat
Who
person.
doesn't love bread?
I can make that joke. I'm a fat person.
A great big fat person.
You have
A great
your
big fat
skinny
person.
privilege. So.
So you said it was a horror comedy.
How are
How's the jokes?
How are the kills though?
Hey,
the
wait!
kills
I
are-
asked about jokes first,
Well, the joke.
and you were going to answer him. I asked first.
Well, I was gonna work the whole answer together.
Fine.
Your answer was in the same.
It's part of the answer because they're probably funny kills,
Is
right?
this what that guy in that review meant by she's shrill? Anyway, how were the jokes?
You're not sure. They were pretty good. I mean, it was more of a humor thing, like sort of a vibe of it's that Office Spacey kind of like you were saying. It kind of gives you a little of that. Oh, these are people who work together vibe with humor, but the kills are sometimes kind of funny, but they're brutal. Actually, it's a very brutal.
Are
movie.
they like comedic kills and like Happy Death Day?
Were they like Thanksgiving kills? Or?
Well, I didn't see Thanksgiving.
Nor
Did I see Happy Death
They were
Day.
wacky.
They were wacky.
They were wacky, but they
brutal.
were also incredibly brutal.
Yeah.
No, I would not call these wacky at
Just
all.
brutal.
Just super brutal.
All right.
Like super
Does
violent.
the comic tone continue once the killing is started, or does it shift?
Yeah, it continues.
Okay.
But it's a real, like, I feel like they do a good job of actually blending, and it's sort of that Cornetto trilogy way where there's humor, but it is a legit horror movie
I like that.
also.
I'll have to watch this
Like
one.
the tone is just it is what it is. You know, like how those are like there's no like, well, we have to balance this with it's just this is the world you're in.
I love that.
And
Because
that-
then it's less contrived.
It is. And so my only real complaint about this movie is it does kind of drag on a little bit. Like the kills, like the killer, he's very much a Jason Voorhees, which in a lot of ways this movie tries to be kind of grounded. But my main complaint about the killer is he's got the Jason, I can be everywhere at once.
Mm-hmm.
I can murder you here out by the lake, 2 miles from the cabin over here, and then a few moments later be back at the cabin and be hiding in the closet to murder this person here.
Yeah.
So that takes me out of it a little bit when I don't feel like the killer has to like really. I mean, I guess I'm sure there would be some nerd who could like diagram for me like
They'll
like
do the math for
an
you.
armchair fucking
Yeah.
homicide detective give me a timeline that proves that the killer could actually do all of that, but it felt wonk to me. And then it did drag on, like it did start to get a little repetitive right before the end. Strong end. So it's actually it is very, very okay. Like I liked this movie, but it got a little long in the tooth, man.
You are not a slasher fan.
Cut 15 minutes from this movie,
Yeah.
and it would go from pretty okay to this was really good.
Yeah. I wonder.
I'm saying just by saying you're not a slasher
And you're right,
fan,
I'm not a slasher fan.
saying that you still found it entertaining
Yes, I mean there was a lot
means
to like.
something.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about it.
I would love to see filmmakers like who make a movie like that legitimately. They always do a director's cut where there's more.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to see someone be like, I'm going to do a lean, mean cut of that 2.5 hour movie I made, or that 2 hour movie I made, and I'm gonna really trim it out and re-release it. I would be really excited, but I mean, I know it's because all the production stuff's done. The most expensive part of producing the movie is out. You could rebrand some of these movies and be like, this is my wild and crazy cut.
Yeah.
This is my fast paced cut.
Like the Argento cut of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Okay.
I'm interested though, Kelley. You piqued me.
Yeah, I think you guys would really like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like the kills are gnarly, man, and they're not played for laughs. That's what's like. But they're so. I mean, in a way, some of them are so like what.
Yeah.
That you kind of chuckle, but
because it's so absurd.
But it is like it's brutal. Very brutal.
So, all right.
Recommend.
Nice.
Well, thanks, Kelley. Our next movie, what?
Yeah, Freddy did jazz hands.
Stretch it. I just did this.
Spirit fingers.
I was shaking my hands out.
He gets a little excited.
They hurt.
Movie for next week. Freddie picked this one out. It's on Shudder. It's called When Evil Lurks.
Oh, I keep seeing this.
I've heard a lot about this.
Yeah, I keep seeing it on Instagram.
I heard it's like brutal.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good. It's the director of Terrified, which I thought was
a great movie.
Really good.
It's great. In a remote village, two brothers find a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the body, only to end up unintentionally spreading chaos.
A man giving birth?
That's the chaos right there.
That's the future liberals one right there.
Remember Junior?
I do remember Junior.
I never saw it. I only remember the trailer.
I'm going to have a baby.
Kelley, you want to spin it?
It is in my stomach right now. I don't understand anatomy.
There it goes. There she goes. There she goes. There she.
She's a spinning.
It looks like it might be me.
Yeah.
This is
Freddy.
How cool is that?
Yeah. So cool. It was your choice.
I know. I wanted to see that. I picked it because I was like, we need to do something good that we know is probably going to be good.
I do know.
Good. I like it good. All right. We will be right back after this.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
This week's main attraction is a Serbian film.
Oh, yeah.
Called Slotherhouse.
Mm-hmm.
This movie.
That was a really nice. Little. What you did there.
It was made in Serbia.
That was made in Serbia. I'm just stating the real fact.
No, I know. I just like what you did there.
I appreciate it. I like that.
That was very Conan O'Brien-y.
You know what I don't get anymore? Performance reviews, and I miss them. That's a weird thing to say, but it's true.
Oh, not me, but I do miss getting raises.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Oh, raises were nice.
I mean, I'm currently employed, and I don't get those. Anyway, Slotherhouse. It's a ridiculous movie.
It is. To me, I texted the group that to me this is a Nickelodeon movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more violent, although I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's PG-13. It's fine.
What do you think,
PG-13?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I guess that it makes sense. Were there any curse words in this?
No, but there's blood. I think it was.
Blood.
I think it was the blood.
Here we go.
Okay, here's the
Parents'
thing.
Guide.
You know how I said Godzilla, like when he's not on the screen, just waiting for him to come back.
Yeah.
But that movie had a better movie around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of this.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a good movie wrapped around the sloth stuff.
Yeah.
Take away the sloth stuff, and then it's a really bad, awful movie.
I would have preferred like teeming hordes of killer sloths. So we got one.
You get a slasher.
Yeah, but I thought the sloth stuff was really fun and goofy. And
it was cute. The sloth was cute.
It made me laugh out loud.
The entire premise of the movie is very stupid.
It is.
She gets a sloth so that she could increase, like she could post pictures of it on like Instagram and then get more followers and then win the presidency
that's not why she got
of
the
the sorority
sloth.
house. Yes, it is.
Well, ultimately, yes, but she rescued it and kept it, right?
No.
Like she rescued.
She was going to go buy
to
it.
get it.
Yeah,
She was going to buy it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even the guy that got the sloth set it up for her. Like, this will get you a lot of followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I thought it was real weird. I said to Amy, and this is the moment when I thought I really hated this movie, was in the mall. And I was like, that's so disjointed.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she
this
act
guy's bringing
like-
up
yeah.
social media. He has no connection to anything that's going on.
That's
the dog
kind of
didn't
like
matter.
I like that part because they didn't beat around the bush.
Yeah.
They just jumped straight to playing that seed in her mind.
I came around on it.
Well,
yeah,
he
on
said
that
it
part.
because because she made him snap that picture with her,
Yeah.
so he knew she wanted
But
followers.
it's still a weird thing to say.
It is a weird thing
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
No, it is the.
It's very weird.
None of this works for me. I mean, it's fine. It's not. It didn't make me angry.
So let me tell you this. Did anybody else notice this? All of the actresses, the main actors and actresses, are British.
I did because I looked up that Tiff Stevenson lady because she had real big boobs.
So here's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, they are having to fight an accent, A.
Yeah.
And B, they are playing the characters I think they've seen on TV and movies.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Yeah.
have sororities and fraternities and
Is Greek life? I
Yeah.
don't believe it's
So-
anywhere else but here.
Well, that's what it was. Like part of it, it felt like to me a 50-year-old writing for kids movies,
But
And
also like a foreigner writing
but
for
your
American
explanation makes
audiences.
sense now
Yeah.
because they don't get this. They don't have Greek life there. I don't think.
It would only be
And-
through watching
Yeah.
American movies.
Yeah, and
And it was a weird translation. People made weird choices.
They
Like
made weird
Zenny?
choices.
The actress who played Zenny?
Is that the stoner girl?
Like she's the alpha, like bra yoga.
Yeah.
That's
I loved her.
The only character
Or they. I'm not sure what the.
that I liked.
Yeah.
Zinni.
Really? Because I wanted to punch that.
I
because
started
it was
that way, but
so
she grew on me.
goofy.
Yeah.
And like that was a character.
Yeah,
He was
you
like
know
a
what I mean?
workaholic
Like,
character at a
and
certain
everybody
point.
was like that at that level,
Yeah.
but they had some people that were acting like in different movies.
Yeah.
Like I feel if everybody was on Zenny's level,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
That
amped up
might
like
have been
that,
too much.
I don't know. See, that's what my thing about this movie is. It because I didn't like it, but I thought the sloth stuff was cute, and I did when the sloth was driving the car, or like when it
Yeah.
made like a frustrated face. That was funny to me. But like the rest, like Andy said, the humor that went around it was so fucking Wizards of Waverly Place level.
It was Disney Channel level.
Like, was like the mean girl. One of her insults to another girl is like, "You potato."
Yeah, yeah.
Like weird things like that.
So it was just like
There were young people that wrote this. Maybe we're out of touch.
Oh no, I was gonna
Young
say
British people.
this
that-
is a young people movie, man.
I was gonna say the screenwriters are a young woman and a man who looks like he might be in his 30s.
I knew that immediately. That was another thing. I was like, this movie is not for me because it's too young.
So I was keeping notes as we were watching it, and one of them is everyone is wearing acid wash jeans or jorts. I don't know if everybody noticed that.
I
like
didn't.
80s style acid wash.
Totally didn't.
Also, I wrote the sloth is using the internet.
That
The
was
sloth is having a flashback, and I wrote there are no rules. There
Yeah.
are no rules.
Well,
the sloth can do anything it needs
That's when
to
it
do.
won me over.
Well, like because the sloth can move slow, but then it can transport
Incredibly fast.
like Jason Voorhees at times.
Yeah.
Well, I think it drove somewhere, right?
Well, it did.
We were like,
Yeah.
you
Use
guys
the
were talking about
internet.
it driving, but like, they don't. The early in the movie though, I know later there's blatantly a driving scene, but there's early in the movie where they don't show it driving, but it's clearly it got from point A to point B somehow really fast, and the only thing that makes sense in between is that they drove, and you're like, the sloth, I guess it could have drove there, and then you're like, nah.
I think
then
you're
they show it driving. That's fucking hilarious.
I think you're giving it more thought than the writers gave. I don't.
That's
Maybe.
why
think
I had to
Yeah.
realize there are no rules.
there's no rules.
yeah.
And that would be fine. That would have won me over if then the characters around
Yeah.
the sloth said anything that wasn't really young. And
Yeah.
that's the nicest way I can put that.
There was no one for someone of my age and background to relate to in this movie at all.
There's-
Unless
like-
if they were my children.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh yeah, these are like the people my children
Somehow
might know.
it's easier to watch a bunch of teens do dumb teen shit or like young people do young people shit in like 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s movies because that's when we were young.
I don't know how old Tiff Stevenson is, the one you were talking about with the big
know.
boobs, but
Yeah.
she was stole the show for me when
Well, she was the most.
Which one is she?
the house mom?
The house mom.
She's also probably maybe the oldest member of the
She was
cast.
on The Office, the British Office.
She's funny.
Yeah, she was fine. She was fine. But again, the writing they gave, it was just
Yeah.
I can't even say it's too young. It was like I said, it just kept feeling like I was watching a show that was legitimately made for like tweens.
Yeah.
Aimed at tweens. Like, those shows there, like a lot of kids shows, like they're like, we want to make it fun for adults and kids. And then there are these live action Disney Channel movies that are only for children.
It's like that Disney acting where everybody's shouting.
I hate that shit.
And the colors
the
are
main
bright.
chick was like a not Vanessa Hudgens, but looked like her.
Yeah, she kind of had a similar vibe.
It just, there was nothing was happening.
Her name is Lisa M. I wish I hadn't started.
What do you mean nothing was happening? She got that sloth and then it happened. She became president of her sorority, Kelley.
Well, that's true, but
because that's how that works.
That's like nothing happening, though.
But also, all of their sisters keep disappearing.
And nobody cares
and nobody
or
cares
notices.
because the sloth is probably hiding their bodies and updating their Instagrams.
Yeah.
The sloth is updating their Instagrams and saying like they moved or went away.
Hashtag animal attack. Hashtag
which would be
Slotherhouse.
hilarious.
It was hilarious to
if
me.
there was a good movie that it went with.
It was enough for me. Like,
No,
I'm
it
so
was-
basic, but like when they turned up the fucking selfies of all the sloth with the victims, it was such a throwback to early 80s slasher movies for me. Like,
Well,
the
it
kind
is
of taunting.
It is a throwback, but I gotta have more than just
Yeah.
elements that pop up.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch this
Your
again.
time is more valuable.
Well, it's funny. You said you couldn't relate to this movie because you said it was written by and sounded like young people.
Yeah.
I couldn't relate to it because everything sounded so forced and fake to
Well,
me.
it did.
The
Yeah, agreed.
accents
Yes.
were really difficult. In the first
Agreed.
act, I was like, I said to Amy, I said, this is the worst. And I was like, I don't think that these actors are speaking in their native accents at all.
They're not. And then we caught somebody saying about guns. Did anybody else catch this? She's like,
The IRA.
so-and-so's uncle's an IRA card holder.
Oh, I didn't notice
This is
that.
Yeah.
the United States.
think
The
That'd be an
Irish
NRA.
Republican Army.
That's
Yes.
what Amy said.
I think my mind just filled in NRA.
Mine did too.
We went back.
Well, that's who they meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They meant it. But I'm like, bitch, I know where you're from.
That's funny.
It is.
Yeah.
And also, even the gun that they had does not look like your normal movie. Like, I don't know what like caliber, what that gun. It looked weird
intense.
to me. Yeah,
it
was like a
I didn't
big-
really
It
notice.
was like
Gun.
a dirty hairy gun.
it was like a
Yeah.
dirty hairy gun.
like a magnum.
Okay, now you brought up before, Amy, that where they literally said it's a slaughterhouse, and then like Freddy said, it worked for you,
Yes.
and Kelley was like, no.
The slaughterhouse line actually even worked for me because they're like, it's the wrong time.
Should a
He's
movie
like, but it's
ever-
pretty funny.
No, to me it
I like
didn't
that.
work because they said like it's not the right time to have some of the goofy moments.
Yeah.
But like
The whole
every
scenario
the
was
whole thing
goofy.
was goofy, and like Zenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's acting like when she attacks the sloth, and she's acting like this ninja,
Yeah. I love
and
that
like
part.
and throwing quips out.
My favorite
So
part of the
it's
movie.
okay for you to be like silly, but not for this guy to make that pun.
I think the difference
You're being
is
mean to this dumb boy
Zenny-
in the movie.
the boy is being is performative and Zenny is being Zenny. I think
Yeah.
that for me, the character actually
So there's more authenticity to Zenny.
Zenny became a real character to me at a certain point. In the beginning, I said, "Is that woman doing like some sort of stereotypical like black voice? Like, what is this performance exactly? It's very strange." And then I'm like, "But it doesn't." At a point, I was like, "This is nothing I've ever seen before. This is something new," and I got excited. And then I got really excited when they took that character out of being the comic relief and shifted them into the place of being like a Michonne from The Walking Dead all in one moment. And to me, that is hilarious in and of itself.
Where did she get all of the knives she threw?
That was great. I love the unexplained knives and the unexplained
There's no
knife
rules.
skill. The unexplained, because these are like clearly knives that are designed for throwing. There's no hint of her being this person early in the movie. She's just the Bluto Animal House character.
There's no rules.
There are
no rules.
rules.
There's
y'all.
no physics.
I love a movie with no
So,
rules. Sometimes.
One of the
It's a sometimes food.
main character's friends, the sloth realizes that this friend is
The one
a
that's
threat.
trying to save it.
Yeah, the one that's trying
Yeah.
to save it. It decides is a threat, and
because it wants to be part of the sorority. That's the subtext you're missing.
I guess, but it
The sloth-
lures
It wants to
her.
rush.
The sorority is so exclusive
just
that
wants
even
to
the
murder.
sloth wants to join it.
I love that. Like, are you saying that scene where she throws the sloth
The
throws
sloth
the phones?
steals her
Yes.
phone out of her pocket and throws it into the street. So she walks into the street just as a car comes by and hits her.
But was that it wasn't planned, was it?
I think it
couldn't be
was.
planned.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but how
There
could
are no rules, Andy.
How could it know? But no, it knew. Like the only thing, and I told Amy that in this moment of the movie, I said a lot of movies would have cut to the phone landing in the street and cars going by, so you would set up that the sloth threw the phone into a dangerous place.
I was so proud
This
of them.
movie just tosses the phone out of frame, and then she goes out of frame, and then you cut to her out in that other.
It was like a Mean Girls moment.
Yes.
Like,
Startled
Rachel
Mean Girls.
McAdams get hit by the bus.
But it made me laugh so
The friend
hard.
ends up in the hospital,
Yeah.
and later the sloth comes to kill her by putting a pillow over her.
That was funny. It was funny.
It had to have driven to the
It
hospital.
literally did
Yeah,
drive to
it
the
drove.
hospital.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it looked up the map on the
Yeah,
phone.
Yes.
it was using Google Maps.
So then, but wait,
That part was really funny.
she comes back later to save everybody's bacon, but she's in her hospital gown and still holding her IV pole. Does
Yes.
that mean she walked
With the
from
IV
the
pole.
hospital?
I love that.
I like
With
that
the
part.
IV pole.
Just how over the top
It's
it
like
was.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Like she's dragging her leg and has the IV pole.
Yes.
If this,
What the fuck? How'd she get all the way back here?
if some of the other stuff had just a
are no rules.
teeny bit
You're
more
right.
depth,
You're right.
But it is what
this
it is.
would have been this could
Yeah.
have been a really funny movie.
I think
but
about
It could have been a lot better in so many respects, but had it been American producers playing like an American cast doing this, I think the thing that I like most about this movie is its weird identity as a Serbian movie with British actors playing American sorority sisters. That's weird to begin with.
well, it is weird. It has a very off-kilter feel to it.
Yeah, I kind of love that
there's
feeling.
what's the one? Is it Thanksgiving or Poultrygeist that I like? Does anybody know?
Both. You like
That you just said Thanksgiving.
Or
But the one-
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, I
Oh,
meant.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, I was like, Thanksgiving does this better, I think.
What's the one with the
Thanksgiving
turkey
is fine.
that?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Thank you. That
Yeah. We were
somehow gets it.
that
Yeah.
movie is better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, you got
Anyway.
it.
And
was funny.
Slotherhouse, I think, wanted to achieve that. They didn't.
They did
That's
their own
fine. They
thing,
did their
though.
own thing.
I respect that it wasn't derivative. It somehow is a stupid. This is a movie I didn't think. I thought like I was irritated with the movie kind of maybe before I started it. I liked the trailer and I liked the punny title, but the concept of what I thought was going to be what Amy described, a movie with a bunch of sloths killing people like piranha or something.
Great though.
The fact that it was really like this Mean Girl sorority house story and that the sloth was integrating itself into the sorority. It started wearing little sundresses and hats.
It popped it was drinking a beer.
drinking beer.
It popped the lid
Yes,
off.
it just became
With his
one of
little
them.
three toes.
The
That
sloth
is the
stuff
thing.
And it
was
was like tanning with it.
stuff was good.
It's called Slotherhouse.
It's just
That's all I needed.
Weird.
And the sloth stuff was good. It's like those Godzilla movies.
But the sloth stuff wasn't enough for me to
Not me either.
save the rest of the movie.
Well, what about the shower game?
That was an interesting thing.
Again,
That was just the sorority sisters picking on
that's
each other.
like
Yeah.
I said, it's the British version of what hazing is
guess.
in American
It
sororities.
was very gentle hazing. I kind of thought it was a fun idea. I would like to go through different temperatures of
But-
water.
I just love how they project everything.
We paid money to do that
Like-
on a Disney cruise, remember?
Oh yeah.
And it's like they don't care that it doesn't make sense. They project everything, like with the
To the back of
shower
room.
game.
Yeah.
Like the water heater is literally right there.
yeah.
and the sloth turns it up to hot boiling water.
I forgot about that. I like that Zenny was really excited about the shower game, but
Yeah.
also there was an element of sexual predation on her in her
Well,
performance.
yeah,
you know?
she wanted to look at what t-shirt.
Yeah, it's like those
Yeah.
wacky 80s comedies where like rape was funny.
Yeah, it was kind of a throwback in that respect too. Zenny is very much an 80s Greek life character.
If you were wondering, and I started to wonder after I figured out that there were no rules, I was like, are they going to let it? Is it going to talk? Is it gonna talk? It did.
Yeah.
It said ET phone home, basically.
It looked at the picture of the forest and just said,
And they have a poster of the Panamanian rainforest for no reason.
in their sorority house.
Like you do.
It was punking her though, right? Like it wasn't for real. Was it a trick or did it actually? No, she took it back.
She took it back.
That's right. That was kind of sweet.
There was never an explanation.
It took a crown right into the brain, and then
It
she put it back in the
It
forest.
got stabbed through the chest and is shot a bunch of times.
It was Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
But I mean, it starts with it in the forest, killing that crocodile.
Yeah.
Which was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a good reveal when it rolled over and you saw
The crocodile had been all
crocodile was actually
slashed
the
up.
thing that was killed.
But they never really give an explanation other than it was pissed off that it got taken from its home. But where did it learn all of this?
What's with the pills again, too?
And why did the pills were like an
they
offhand comment.
I think they were to calm it down so it doesn't get to the point where
It can
that's the
talk and
only
use
reason that
cell phones.
that it didn't kill everybody right away because they were sedating it. And the girl didn't give the sloth the pills, and that's why it could learn how to use the internet and drive.
Yeah, because it slowed it down. The pills were just to keep it. Yeah.
It's like a reverse limitless.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a bananas thing that somebody created.
It's wacky.
Yeah.
It's got an identity. I think it's gonna kind of.
It's not something again that I need to revisit, but
No, I might watch this again with the right group of people. It's very much like a crowd. I think it could be a crowd pleasing movie, but I also think that you're gonna have people that just hate it. And I could see on the wrong day, I would have been one of those people.
Yeah.
It happened to catch me in a good mood.
I definitely didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It was just like watching an episode of Goosebumps for me.
do you think it's
Slightly funnier. In
were they
spots.
trying to get it into theaters and they were trying to like do a thing?
Like this person gave it 3 stars and said bad and not funny.
I
But
don't
then
know,
somebody else gave it 7 and said
The
surprisingly
production
good.
levels even it doesn't it looks straight to video.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody found an old script that they wrote, like a spec for Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know what you can do
Yeah.
this one.
And this movie needed some
Then this-
editing too.
Somebody brought them a killer sloth movie, and they're like, I don't know, this script isn't quite there yet. And then somebody brings them Wizards of Waverly Place, and they're like, hey, wait a minute.
This script isn't there either, but if you put them together, they're a
sort of
thing.
And they
fine.
didn't edit it because
Well, it is-
at the end
yeah.
where the house mother is given that touching, heartwarming speech.
Yeah.
It just went on forever.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I was laughing a lot during
No,
that.
there were parts of it that were good.
Yeah.
That were funny.
I thought the joke was that it was going on too long. So like to me that landed, whereas for you it felt like it was
Yeah.
over long. I can understand that. Like it's a 93-minute movie. So they are flirting with like having some padding in there if there's still some, and I agree with you that there's stuff in there you could have cut out for sure. But it charmed me. I would give it like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. I mean, I did like the fact that the sloth didn't just slash people to death all the time.
Yeah.
It had like more elaborate kills
Yeah.
than
It was a real thinking sloth.
I like the sloth as a character. This is maybe one of the few true characters.
They named it Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha.
Because of Greek life.
Yeah,
It sticks with the theme.
I guess.
Yeah.
All those weirdos. Those weirdos. I'm sorry if you were in a sorority or fraternity and you're listening to this and you're offended by that.
Anything else about Slotherhouse?
But
before we
secret societies are
wrap
weird.
it all up?
Oh, no. That's all I've got to say.
What's on the agenda next for Punny Title Month?
Is it? It's a Wonderful Knife, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, that's on the old
With,
Shutters.
with Justin Long, I think.
Our Scream King.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that'll be next week. Get ready for us to riff on some more puns.
Yep.
I bet you're dying for it. All right, everybody. At the end of every show, we always say hi to the Beelzebubs. Again, patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to join the cult. Group. Alise,
Gonna rush in OTLP.
See you soon.
Alyssa, Branan and Emily, Jeffel, Iona Goodwin,
And a great one.
Dr. Brian, Old, Dirty, Bill Sturd,
I mean, it's a great one if you keep it sedated.
Bill Farner, Frosted Blakes,
Blake can vouch for my sloth integrity.
Blayne Yogurt, Jordache Jeans, Paul,
Every sloth I've sent any one of these listeners, they've been pleased with it. I'm getting 5-star reviews left and right.
Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora. Give her a scritch for me when you hear this. Immediately scritch her, please. Thank
Scritch,
you.
scritch, 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 scritch.
Ernie. And in case you were wondering, Gamora is a dog. Ernie is a human.
Love you, Ernie.
Dave Siebert.
Dave, my man.
Monica and Dustin.
Thank you.
All our peeps.
Yes.
You
Thank
guys,
you,
we
guys.
done did it. We Slotherhoused.
Hey, you
Good
guys.
job. Good job, all of you. And good job, all of you. Listeners.
Any last minute puns? Anyone? Going once?
Oh, you can't
I
put
can't
me
pun on the
the
spot.
Going twice?
You can't. No.